Hey guys, just so you're aware, I do run polls in my Discord asking who I should watch for the games. So if you have a player that you want me to watch, feel free to join and vote for your favorite player. Link in the description below. He is regarded actually as the best player, probably in the world, I think, actually, if you ask a lot of players. I mean, Venator is also known as the best M1 in the game right now. Has probably the best tempoing throughout the entire game. And because of his buff that made him tankier, he's actually able to stay in these fights a lot longer. But for the most part, this is just going to be a very standard lane in the most parts. They're just going to look to clear the wave, and then if anyone extends or overextends, they're just going to get the kill. And because he's playing an M1, I don't expect him to roam too much. He's just going to be power farming a lot. So it's going to be a lot of what his decisions are and how he chooses to pick his fights in the sense of what fights he shows up to and what he doesn't show up to. Media plays for the camp. This will be very key, and this is often what happens when you play an M1. You'll be put into a side lane, or into the left lane where you have the camp prio, or you get put into mid lane where you're paired up with a roamer so the roamer can roam. But with the current meta, you don't necessarily want to put the M1 anymore in the mid lane, because you want to have a stronger lane in the mid lane to get the mid guardian faster. But that doesn't mean Venator's a slouch in lane, and if paired up with another strong laner, they can win lane pretty easily. Monster runs and extra health are just normal purchases for lane. The extra health just helps with survivability, and because the heal minion is percent based, it will give him more healing. You can kind of see what's happening on the map right now. It's pretty greedy from Leviathan, but this is pretty standard practice for a lot of support players in M1 lanes. So the support player will often leave lane to go collect boxes and do an extended box route, while the M1 just does the boxes that are nearby and just clears the wave whenever they can. But what I expect is going to happen is the Paradox might notice that the Viscous is still missing, and they might look for a dive of some sort on Oses. So it's pretty much how Oses plays this to play it safe and not die. And I think this is just a really good response. They sniff it out, so Irizumi comes back, and they're fine. Yeah. She got spotted. Yeah. As you can see, what he's doing is because he's playing pretty far back. He doesn't mind the wave crashing, and especially since his support player is kind of just away doing boxes, he's playing very, very safe. He's being careful not to overextend in the lane and just get himself caught out. Now that his support player is back, he's able to push out the lane. Weakening headshots, the reason why he's buying this is just because of its new buff, where it actually works on minions now, minions and neutral camps. So it helps him with farming speed and clear speed of any sort. This is a good thing to note. Just because he's low HP, he knows ultimates are coming up soon. He resets so the Vindicta can't look for a snipe on him. Because he doesn't want to stay too low in that type of lane, because if he's just playing low the entire time, he's just going to get sniped by Vindicta and just die. And as an M1, you don't want to be doing that. So it's okay just to reset, just because, like, otherwise you're just going to die. And as an M1, you want to value your life as much as you can. You want to prevent it as much as prevent dying as much as you can.
A Venator doesn't traffic in mercy.
Okay. I remember watching, I didn't watch this, but I remember them talking about it on the broadcast, where they were like, oh, did he purposely mean to shoot Hoot there? Or was he aiming at the Billy? I think he actually did mean to shoot Hoot there. I think he analyzed the way that Hoot was pathing, and he ended up getting him on the crossfire. But that was really good patience. He didn't waste all of them right away trying to snipe the Vin from like a hard shot. That was good. Also, very good roam from the doorman, allows them a lot of pressure. And allows them the chance to get this Guardian.
Might be time to spend. They've taken our blue Guardian. Dropping fire! Little bit of advice. Don't get caught.
He comes up to the shop just because he knows it's safe. His team has the pressure in blue to do so. Even though they don't have blue prio, they do have the pressure because his team ran past the minion wave. So he's able to walk up and get the wave, and get his buy, which is cultist. And now he's just gonna look to steal some jungle camps after pushing out the wave.
I see paradox.
You might be wondering why he left one minion. One, it might just be to catch out this wave earlier so he can keep putting the pressure on. But two, the main reason probably is it's just for the camp spawn timers. So he knows he won't have permanent pressure on this lane. So if this camp were to respawn, it would be more beneficial for the other team than if he just left one. And this is just knowing his timings. This is really unusual for a lot of M1 players, but you can see how aggressive he's playing. He has no one around, but he knows based off where his teammates are located and what they saw previously that he's able to just play that aggressively. He's not going to be scared of a Billy in a 1v1 because he knows he can just pop his Ira Domini and just win that fight. So he's playing aggressive, just keeping the pressure on, and he's just looking to steal whatever. But the moment he has to back off, he's just going to take his own jungle and chill out.
Come to this. Our yellow walker is under attack.
This is just recognition of, this is just pattern recognition. He knows that the Billy is going to play for that Sinners because it's the most important camp on his side of the map. So he just instantly clears the wave so he can look to contest this, and I'm assuming the Mo's going to come and help him out.
Come out and die.
And with that, he's able to put pressure on him. And might even get the kill, which he doesn't, but the thought was there. And he's able to secure his own Sinners because of it. And this is just confidence. He knows that he himself is very, very strong. If you look at the top, he's at 10k, where the rest of the enemy team, the next highest is the Billy at 8, or the Billy and Wraith at 8.8 and 8.2 respectively. This just means he's stronger than anyone in the game, and if he has any amount of support, he's just able to 1v1 people. So he's just doing this out of pure confidence. Normally, I would suggest to continue farming and just back off. Maybe look at your own side. Can maybe take a TP over to buy and then TP back or something. But because he's so far ahead, he's trying to push that lead and use and he himself is very confident in what he's able to do. And now he's just putting his strength to use. He comes over to Ern's side because we talked about this before in the Zerky video, I believe. He's going to look to split push while his team is grabbing the Ern, and this gives him a lot of free reign of that right side. He's also playing here for Ern pickup. You want to play your main M1 on earn pickup side because you're just going to leave him there to just split push. The other thing is, he has ulti. He wants to help out with this. He power farmed for the first 10 minutes of this game. He's 11k. He uses that lead to just grab the first earn. What I'm assuming happened here is they left the gray talent in the side lane because he will now have bird for this upcoming fight. So this way he can just play passively or defensively around this guardian, clear the wave, make sure the wraith can't split push it, and then if a team fight comes out, he can just look for a bird on the opposite side of the map. So they're using their globals to their advantage. He takes the zip over because he thinks his team's going to go look for the deposit, but they don't have the pressure to do so. So I'm a little bit surprised he didn't just go blue to push it out initially, which he ends up doing now. But
Our yellow walker is under attack.
because now it makes sense to go back. So hard pushing it.
Checking in. Let him come for me.
You're welcome.
Waiting to be claimed.
So this is definitely 100% a comm made by the rest of his team. I don't like his pathing though. But his team comms to just let them get the Aaron. We're gonna split push, as you can see, and they're hard pushing out blue and they're hard pushing out green. So in this case, Oses is just gonna look to play a little bit safe and just clear the wave and try not to give up the walker while they're doing the Earn. Which is gonna be difficult, but okay, so he fixes his pathing. But a lot of people would just go straight to the wave and then get caught out and die, and then because of that, they would just lose the walker. But Oses recognizes this because he knows they're gonna have some people or some other people around the wave to kind of catch him off and do that. He's playing it safe, so he's just gonna play under the walker. And because of that slight pathing difference, he was able to defend his walker.
I got a little surprise for him. They took out Viscous.
And just because of that, he lives that entire difference. He lives and gets 2 kills off of that. And he's going to be able to catch a wave. Now he's Giga fed 16k at 13 minutes. No one else can stop him. He's 4k up on the next highest person. He's chilling. It's just the small movements that he does that really, really help and make that difference. And because he knows he just killed 2 people, he's playing aggressively here to try and cash out this next wave and maybe steal a little bit of jungle. He's going to force a response to him.
I see the enemy.
And now with this timer, he's going to use it to go buy and maybe steal something. This is really well played, this entire sequence.
Hope you win whatever fight you're about to start.
I see the enemy.
Push saved by Irizumi. and Irizumi ends up dying for him. And this is just really good recognition from Loki W. They recognize that Oses plans to do that. He just shoved out that wave so that Vin, Billy, and Lash look towards the secret shop because they know that he hasn't bought yet because he just shoved out this entire lane. So he knows, and they're like, oh, he's probably going to look to buy at the secret shop. So they catch him out on the rotation, and Irizumi has to die for him.
Protect the Iron Runner. Wrath comes for them. Get them, boys. The Venator.
And that is exactly why they drafted the Mo. I'm not going to talk too much about this because OCs didn't really do much himself there. It was a big team effort. But that's why they drafted the Mo. They drafted the Mo to counter a lot of these mobile characters like the Vin, Celeste. I won't say Vin is too mobile, but the Celeste, Lash. And that way, they can't really escape. And they can kind of just collapse on these types of characters instead of like having to struggle to get them. And maybe force like a knockdown buy or whatever.
Fights with fur. Let him come. My work will come. Traps out. They took out Grey Talon. Stop. Take you to learn. Dropped.
Oh, you're all about the information.
That was just simple map awareness, recognizing that his Stormman was getting collapsed on at the urn. And so they just came over and helped him out. Nice parry.
I'll trap the bastards. Welcome.
Let's take out.
So what's happening right now is all Oses is doing is he's pushing out a side lane and then joining his team in fights. He's the one who has all the money right now on his team besides maybe the silver. But he's the one who has a majority of the money because if you look in comparison, his team is kind of broke in comparison to the other team. So he has to be in these fights. Otherwise, the enemy team is just going to have a money advantage. So he's playing with them in order to actually have that monetary value and power level of these characters in those fights. So this is how you carry your games as M1s. You get ahead, and then use that power, whether it is a small one or not, to play with your team. Because if you're just constantly pushing alone, you're not going to be really doing anything, and your team's just going to fall around you, because they're not going to be having the same amount of money as you. This is a neutral game. There's a 2k soul difference, and that's pretty much just the silver against like the paradox. So you as your M1 have to be there because you are the strength of your team right now. All the money is on you. The difference is on you.
Paradox.
Ready for the fight.
My resolve is endless.
The sword of Saint Benedict cuts them down like wheat.
And because he was with them, they were able to get 2 kills and go mid.
The Guardian on Greenwich.
And mid is more valuable than a walker, so they're just kind of playing for it. I'm a little bit surprised that the Wraith isn't just split pushing it.
The Rejuvenatus.
And he just straight up wins that fight for them as well.
Good teamwork.
This is how you carry as an M1.
I see Paradox.
I see Latch.
I will
overall, that sequence was pretty solid. I mean, he did overextend slightly and get jumped on by the Celeste, but overall it was pretty good because he wasn't playing scared because of rejuve. He knows his team was going to get Urn, so what he's doing is he's playing aggressive, so he's trying to keep them in mid so that they can get the free Urn. And with the rejuve, they're pretty much able. It's pretty much a 6v6. And all their waves are really good. So they're trying to prevent them from fixing waves and get the Urn. And then they're also playing a 6v6 because of rejuve, pretty much.
I see Billy.
So yes, he does die, but it was the right play. And he got a lot of them low, and they end up trading 2 for 1, which is beneficial.
They would not die so easily.
If he did end up managing to live there, it would have been really good for them. But trading 2 for 1 isn't bad for the most part. He's just allowed to play aggressively here because the Mo's around him. Anyone who decides to jump him will die. We're looking for the pick on the Lash.
I see the enemy.
Good movement to get up there. Super small thing there. A small entrance to his location. He just put a trap there, so if an enemy comes down, they get trapped, and he can just kind of shred them.
They'll walk right into this. Gotcha.
I see Billy.
Your team is grateful for the
Very similar to the Zergy positioning too. He's placing himself in positions in these fights to maintain a distance or a safe distance to still be able to dish out damage. He's not extending himself too hard to try and get a kill. He's just trying to do damage. That's what his job is. If someone else on his team can get the kill, perfect.
surprise for him.
But he's not going to overextend to try and force a kill on someone because that's just going to risk his own life. Very underrated purchase on any M1 or on anyone. E-shift, just making himself invulnerable for a state. So if he gets jumped on, he's able to just go invuln or untargetable and just wait for his team to collapse. This is a really good counter to like things like Lash ult or Billy ult or whatever. You can just pop it. Whereas, and he can do it for a certain amount of time too. It's done. And you can kind of see he's taking, like, if he's able to take an isolated fight, he takes it. He doesn't want to put himself in the danger.
I have my orders.
Because he knows he can win 1v1s. He's the damage dealer.
I'm ready for the wicked.
But if he's caught in the middle of a fight, he just dies, and his team will likely lose the fight. Because once again, the power's on him. He has pretty much a 10k lead over the next highest person on their team. Another thing about the E-shift item is it gives a spirit resist, but it also gives him spirit power, which translates into more resistance for Venator. It also just gives him straight up just a good amount of buffs afterwards. With this last rejuve, they're just looking to take this last walker. And while just keeping all the waves good. And with this, they're just, the Loki W is just looking for any picks they can get. But in the meantime, they're just going to lose a lot of their base. His team bought a lot of time. So he's able even to get back in time. He's able to turn it. It comes in, just straight up wins the fight for his team.
I see the enemy.
The enemy.
Nice.
The sword of Saint Benedict cuts them down.
But because he's coming in so late, he's able to play safe. Because they're caught up in the middle of the fight, they're not going to be looking at their map as much. So he's able to pull off a flank, get 2 kills right away on the Wraith and the Paradox, and ends up picking up a 3rd on the Lash shortly after.
There walk right.
I see Lash.
I see Celeste.
No one is going to stop me.
There walk right.
Leviathan just knows that the other team's going to be trying to play for the urn, so they're trying to stop them from getting it for resistance purposes. So because of that, they just catch them before they're able to go and get it. They want to get this other shrine and drop.
Protects the flock.
Nice, uses the E-shift to get away. To avoid the Lash ult. Okay, the drop. And now, because of how late game it is, they're so strong that they're probably just going to force a mid-fight.
Have metal skin. I'll wear 'em down.
I lead him to this. I'll trap the bastards. Checking in.
Careful, Biscuit.
Let's see who still standing.
Very, very small note. He doesn't E-shift the Billy ult, but he E-shifts afterwards because he knows the opponents are going to try and capitalize on this Billy ult. So as you saw, the Paradox used double bomb in that small area. Oses would have 100% died to the double bomb there. He was slowed, chained up, whatever. So because he waited patiently, he was able to use his survival tool to avoid all the damage from Paradox bombs and live in that situation at half HP. The Billy ult itself is not that scary for him. It's what comes after.
Show them why you are a legend, Great Alan.
They're just able to win the fight. That's GG's. And that's how you carry a game as an M1.